It sounds like the Packers have moved on. And that's the point that I say. Packers digging their heels in. I am unconcerned because the alternative is the Jets say to Rodgers, man, we tried. We tried. We signed your guy. We're planning on signing your guys. We tried. Green Bay, sorry. You take him back. His $60 million or whatever, it's on your cap. You figure it out. He retires on you, what that means for your cap and all that business. You can move on to Jordan Love how you see fit, or you can send him our way and we can give you some compensation for it, and that's the end of that. Nothing's easy in life that you want to have happen, and the Jets definitely want to have this happen. Rodgers says he wants to come play for the Jets, words I never thought would come out of his mouth. And after a while, it took apparently 20 minutes to get to that point in the conversation on Pat's show. The Jets Twitter account on point. For our radio audience, it is the moment from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood of Leo pointing at the set. There it is. He's wearing a Jets hat. Yep, there it is. He said he wants to play for us. Just everything I'm hearing out of New York is all like he's coming. It's going to happen. So I'm just kind of surprised this wasn't hammered out. Like, we didn't think this was coming. He said since Friday. They've been digging their heels in since Friday? Really?
Well, we heard Adam Schefter say that the Packers wanted 2 firsts back.
Get out of here. 2 firsts back. Let me just, again, reiterate here. Aaron Rodgers, he said at one point in the conversation, based on some of the texts I'm getting, that he's debatably the best player in the history of the Green Bay Packers.
He just said that himself. Yeah.
Is he wrong? You can debate this.
That's a fair
debatably.
Yeah.
He's the best player in the history of the Green Bay Packers.
Debate? Yeah, sure.
We can debate that.
It's a debate.
Right? Yeah,
I think every word he said is truth.
There's definitely guys who have their hands up, but
of course,
if there's a list, he's on it.
Oh, he's on the very short list.
So,
I understand
the list of 2.
That there's only one human being who walked the planet who could say on his resume, I was the MVP of Super Bowls 1 and 2. Don't forget, Bart Starr, when he, rest his soul, walked the planet, could walk around with a resume.
Yeah.
Oh, what'd you do?
Untouched.
I was the MVP of the first 2 Super Bowls. What'd you do? That's kind of like Neil Armstrong. I was the first guy to walk on the moon. What'd you do? That's the sports version of Neil Armstrong.
That's pretty good.
Okay? And then you have Favre. And you've got Rodgers. And you can argue who the 4th person is on the Mount Rushmore. Vince Lombardi, maybe? We'll talk about the Packers Mount Rushmore.
Gotta put Vince.
So, and I get it.
Reggie?
And so I understand there's a certain value for Rodgers with that fan base and your fan base. And this is different from Favre coming to the Jets because those Packers back in that day needed to save face, sending Favre away. You talk to Packers fans right now, and this is not being disrespectful to Rodgers at all. So trust me when I say this. You talk to Packers fans, there's no face that needs to be saved. Many of them are like, okay, we're ready to move on to Jordan Love. This is not the same feeling I got when it was Favre to Rodgers. Rodgers has a place in the hearts and minds of Green Bay, Wisconsin, and I do hope one day for Rodgers that he does get the Favre treatment, which is come on back, we'll make an arrangement with you, come back and wave to the crowd, and you're part of our world forever because he is debatably the best Green Bay Packer of all time. But he's also 39. And he's now in the mode of 90% retired? Really? Okay. So I'm going to take on somebody who was 90% retired. I'm going to take that guy at age 39. I'm going to remake my roster to make him happy. I'm going to bring that guy on, and I'm going to give you draft compensation, obviously, for him. 2 1s, though? Get out of here.
Let me throw it back at you.
Get out of here. So you take him back.
Hold on. This guy was 90% retired, right? he comes out of, whatever he did there and sees that this team that he was probably going to retire from anyway, but they're ready to move on from him. And he's like, hold on a second. I still got a lot left. Maybe you're getting chip on your shoulder, Aaron Rodgers. So
I know.
Why wouldn't that be worth 2 ones to you?
That's who you're getting.
But you're suddenly now relevant. You're now a Super Bowl contender.
Got it.
Why isn't that worth 2 first-round picks?
Because I want to use the first-round pick this year at 13th overall, and I want to use the first-round pick next year, and first-round picks for Russell Wilson and also for Matthew Stafford.
Got Matthew Stafford a Super Bowl.
How old were they? In their early 30s. This guy's pushing 40, and I know he could play in the Brady plan. Brady's the outlier.
Nah, Tom Brady changed everything for these guys.
Oh, really? Ask Breeze how his body held up. Ask Roethlisberger how his body held up. And I believe in Rodgers can play.
Not the same.
I am taking the approach that the Jets must have with Green Bay. Because, I know you're saying 2-1s for these guys. They're they didn't win MVPs. One guy in Russell never got a vote for MVP despite having a trophy in the case. I get it.
I think this is huge.
But for the Jets, it's just like, damn straight Packers digging their heels in. Fine, dig your heels in. Then you get a highly disgruntled Aaron Rodgers back on your payroll in your building. Take him back.
I do not agree with your attitude.
I am absolutely doing that.
I am shocked.
Wow.
I am absolutely
You're crazy. Aaron Rodgers becomes the best player in the history of your franchise. Give up whatever for this guy.
I am absolutely holding that line. What are you saying? What happened just over there? What happened over there?
He just basically said, there's a few people who report on him, and so, if that's what their name is, ask this person what I text them. Is basically lose my number. He's kind of going in on the media who are reporting these things about him.
Okay.
And he's saying that, he said Schefter. He goes, ask Schefter what I text him when he somehow got my number. Lose it.
All right. I mean,
so that's where he's at right now in the
I think you're crazy, Rich. If this guy says he wants to play for you, yes. It's like,
I know
you
he
don't
wants
even let
to play.
him finish the conversation.
But even he's the one saying the Packers are digging their heels in, meaning he would understand 2-1s.
I'm sure
for somebody who was in a darkness retreat, which, by the way, I know we've been having our fun with it. I do not denigrate that. He's doing whatever he needs to do for his own mental state.
Yeah.
In this day and age, to salud, do what you've got to do to keep your head on straight and succeed to the highest level that you can. Again, I know we have fun with that because the NFL doesn't sit around and think about mental state a lot, and they should. We all know we should. But he went into his darkness retreat 90% retired. He comes out, he wants to play again, and he says he wants to play for the Jets, and he's saying the Packers are digging their heels in. That means he even understands that what the Packers are asking is something that is refusable for the Jets. I'm just going to figure out that business is business. Houses get sold when everybody tries to make a last-minute thing threatening to blow stuff up. Because the bottom line is, you want Aaron Rodgers back on your payroll to that amount of money, then be our guest. We don't want it that way. We want Rodgers. Rodgers wants to come here. We're set for you. We're set for him. But clearly he wanted to put the pressure on and turn it up on Gutekunst today, and he has succeeded.
Well, also seems like he was told before that take your time, and then we'll work this out whenever you're back. And then he goes dark, and they're secretly shopping him, and he's kind of like, screw you guys. I'm going to come back and play for this team.
To be continued. And here I thought it was going to be nice and done. It's going to happen. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.